So today we start the supreme teaching of Om, the, and we're going to start with the Mandukya Upanishad. So I guess in terms of tackling the 800-pound gorilla in the room, Om is that one. It's deceitfully small, a little tiny, insignificant little sound syllable. But uh, what you realize when you understand that it encapsulates everything in the universe, beyond time, beyond measure, beyond thought, everything is encompassed within that vibratory sound of Om. Um, yeah, it's quite a journey, and I've spent so many hours trying to study the Upanishad and ponder it, and uh, it's really been uh, challenging, but also very, very enlightening as well. So first, let's start with some context, maybe. So let me share screen. Let's start here. So, um, so in terms of the context within Upanishads, so there are 108 known Upanishads, and these are deep spiritual teachings that are at the end of the Vedas. So there are four Vedas. There are four, I would say, the four uh, pillars of spiritual text for Sanatan Dharma. And within that particular set of books, these four books, they are structured in a certain architecture. So you have this typically there's four levels of the book, and in the fourth, right at the end, is where you find the Upanishads, and they're short, little, not short. One is 1 page, Mandukya. I think Isha Upanishad is like 2 pages. Um, Others are longer. Uh, some are 50 pages in discussion. They drag on a bit. Some of them do drag on, but there are also some that are supremely succinct. And Mandukya is one of those that is just supremely succinct and I would say very dryly scientific in its teachings. And it'll pass you, and you're like, is that it? And until you revisit and revisit and revisit, and it starts revealing itself to you. But so first, what I want to cover is 108 Upanishads. Okay, let's just first get a view on that. And so, but I think there we go. We've got the 108 here, I think, already. Very good. So let's copy that for context. Let's use Miro. So first, I just want to build a small picture of the universe, the Upanishadic universe. So these are the 108 Upanishads, okay? And you can see that what you'll find in each of the different of the four Vedas. So Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. So that's the first thing. These are all 108. Now, in the pecking order, uh, this is actually a better view, maybe. Oh, there we go. This is exactly what I wanted, because this gives me uh, it all in context. So you'll understand what we are discussing first and foremost. So let's start from the bottom. Okay. You have 108 Upanishads. Of these 108, there are 32 that are, I would say, the more important ones. And of those 32, there are 10 which are called the principal Upanishads. Okay. And this is the stuff that was defined by Adi Shankaracharya, this dude. And he then used it to form the basis, him and his guru, Gaudapada. Uh, Actually, his guru's guru, to be technically correct. Uh, so it was Gaudapada, Govindapada, and Shankaracharya. And this dude is the one that established these 10 principal Upanishads. Okay? Sometimes it's 11, but these 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and number 10. Now you see number 10 sits above everything, which is Mandukya. And Mandukya is about the teachings of Om. And so let's take a flaming Om. So this is a teaching of Om. Now there's actually quite a few Upanishads that actually do cover Om. So Katha Upanishad, a lot. I'm not, there's actually a lot. Even in the top 10, there's a few, quite a few. But for now, Mandukya is the one that's primary. Its primary teaching is um, this teaching of Om. So let us proceed. And let me see if they have the structure of the Mandukya. So the Mandukya Upanishad is made up of 12 sections. Okay, introduction to Om, maybe a small second introduction to Om. Then it breaks up into understanding your 4 states of consciousness. So each Upanishads, well, at least the principal ones, they sort of break down your supreme self into a multitude of dimensions to look at it. So it's like, imagine it like a beautiful diamond, and you look from this angle, you see one version, look from that angle, you see something else. So this looks at it from one angle where it looks at the self and says, well, this self has 4 states of consciousness, 4 conditions. And so it breaks down these 4: waking, let's start, waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and the 4th, the state within which these 4 appear. So it's like the 3 fingers here, the 3 fingers, and the blackness behind it is the 4th. It's silence in which all this drama happens. And that is the true nature. Okay? So that's the 4. Then it introduces Om. It tells you what Om is. And Om technically cannot be broken from the Om cannot be broken up into sub-syllables. Apologies for the noise. There's some building happening next door to me. So Om technically cannot be broken, but if it were to be technically broken, it is made up of 3 parts. Okay, the A, the U, the M. So this is actually a decent picture to take. We'll build on as we go along. So Om is a sound syllable. It's a weapon. It's a tool. Uh, it really is the tool to take you, to transcend you to that state of awareness where you see yourself. It's where the self abides in the self. Okay. And so in the way Om is understood, actually there's an Upanishad that explains this whole structure. So you have this one curl is your waking state. The second curl, this second curl is the dreaming state. The third curl is your deep sleep state. This curl, you have to imagine it like a glass sphere, a projection ball, and that's the veil of Maya. And the true, real self is that awareness, that witness consciousness that is observing these states. These 3 states come in, dance within the light, and leave the light. So it's almost like, I think, what was that movie? There was a movie where there was a multiple personality disorder. And I think it was the prequel or sequel to Unbreakable. And in there, I think the guy describes it like there's the different personalities want to stand in the light. They occupy the light for a while. And similarly, I think we all are schizophrenic. We have these 3 parts to us. that occupy the light, your waking state, your dreaming state, your deep sleep state. But none of them are actually truly who you are. And that is what Om actually teaches. And what else do we want to cover here whilst I'm here? Let's see. Mandukya Upanishad structure. Now, as I said, now they break up Om into A, U, and M, your waking state, your dreaming state, and the deep sleep state. And then they say there's a fourth, an Om, the silence of Om. And you have to simply drop the other three, and you almost reject the other three states and embrace yourself you run into the loving arms of the silence. And so let's see, there's a good picture here as well. So this comes from a book. I know this picture here. I've actually got not a book. It's almost like like a study, like an article study. Let me just take it though. Um, By the way, Jane is very good. I like him. Um, so this comes from another article. We'll probably come across it in our discussion. And that explains these three parts. This waker, where consciousness is turned outwards. Dreamer, when all consciousness is turned inwards. These two are desire states. They come from a seeking of desire. And so they want to fulfill that desire. So it's an attachment that leads to desire, that leads to a yearning. And whether it's consciousness turned outwards or consciousness turned inwards, these two create the waves. Okay. And waking creates the first set of waves. The shadow of those waves, the mirror image of those waves is what the dreamer experiences. And then when you pass these two states, when the body goes to a very, very low vibratory state, the mind goes to a very low vibratory state. I think it's a theta state, maybe. I think it's called, maybe. Like it's like a low hertz vibration level. Then basically you you it's almost like the TV is switched off, and you experience this an almost reconnection with your true nature, but it's not, it's an almost reconnection. So the harsh reality in the way you have to understand this is you cannot sleep yourself into enlightenment. You get very, very, very close. It's almost there, but it's not. And the trick is you have to take your waking state consciousness, your waking state self um, into the state of deep sleep and beyond to experience yourself. So unfortunately, sleep does not work. Now, so for now, we've got a small picture. I'm happy with this. Let's see if there's anything else that can help. What is this? Nope, don't do that. Anything here? So I'm trying to see if they've got a simple a logical setup of the Upanishad, because it's in structure it's quite simple. Actually, we may just generate it in ChatGPT. Um, but for now, I think we have it. I think is this. I think this might be the Mandukya. Yeah. So this is what it looks like in Sanskrit. So let's take it there too. Very tiny, but crazy profound. And as I said, I've spent many an hour studying this two-syllabled supreme sound. It's all our names. It's the name of everything. It's the sound of the didgeridoo. So when you see those Aborigines playing that whoa, 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 that sound is Om. And another interesting one was the sound of the sun. I think there was a video where uh, the sun's vibration for a 24-hour period was like compressed into a tinier sort of segment, and then you can hear that Om, that vibratory sound. And essentially what the primary teaching is that this entire universe is simply a vibratory creation. It, it starts from a silence. As soon as there's thought and attachment and desire, that starts the vibration of the ocean. And that dissipates when thought and yearning and attachment go away. And so it starts from silence. It goes into a state of action and karma, plus ones and minus ones, and ups and downs, and then goes back into the silence. And so, uh, in in every state, everything is 100% Om. And that means everything, even the good, even the bad, the worst, the shittiest of us, is all Om. And now we're going to begin the Upanishad itself. So what I've decided to do on the Upanishad is to take a few. So there's a couple of them here that we've got. And so this one here, this is a very good one. I like it. This is Eknath Eshwaran's version of the Mandukya. So there we go. It's called Consciousness and Its Phases. So basically there are four sort of parts to consciousness. And essentially when the Upanishad draws a direct comparison that your soul, your Atma, is the supreme vast, the Brahman. And so the one Mahavakya that comes out, one of the great sayings, the four great sayings, is Ayam Atma Brahma, which means the self is Brahman. So this part here, this part we highlight, is one of the Mahavakyas that is now hidden within this Upanishad. And there's the Upanishad. That is it. You want to see what one Upanishad looks like? It starts here. That's it. Nothing intimidating. It's short. It's not very big. And it's a short poem. And you can see no very big words. Very simple words are being used. Some of them are context specific. We need to discuss. But it's quite simple. So let's begin. Mandukya. So this part here, this is called an invocation. Okay. And it's so here is it initiates the Upanishad. So it's important to actually acknowledge and recite that. So here, I think this is Eknath's interpretation. He's made it very modern compared to the original one, but it's basically about being the good, seeing the good, and becoming the good. Okay, and it's may we hear only what is good for all. May we see only what is good for all. And I like it as more, it's not good, but the good. It's to be the good, to hear the good, to see the good. And may we serve you, Lord of love, all our life. May we be used to spread your peace on earth. Om, peace, peace, peace. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Okay. Now, so the actual Upanishad starts like this, very simple. Om stands for the supreme reality. It is a symbol for what was, what is, and what shall be. Om represents also what lies beyond past, present, future. Okay, so simplified, we are fully and completely immersed in all that is Om. Even this empty space that you think is empty space is 100% Om in equal amount as you are Om, in equal amount. It's the same level of density of Om. Everything is Om. You are fully within it. So you are never, ever disconnected from the Supreme in any time, ever. Okay? And in the second one, it basically tells you that you are a fractal of the Supreme. So it's a fractalized universe. So this statement, Brahman is the supreme vast. It's the same as Om. Now you need to understand with these Sanskrit text, there are certain words that get used interchangeably. And Brahman is the supreme vast, is the all, is also Om. And that self, yourself, which is within you, is that same said supreme vast. Okay? And this self has four conditions. So, so in the original Upanishad, it says, well, this Om is the supreme reality, and this Upanishad is like an exposition of it. It's a breakdown of it. And so now it says, firstly, everything is Om. You are Om. Yourself is Om. And you have four parts. Simple, nothing more. The first stage, they've now used a term called Vaishwanara. This is the Lord of the waking state, the coarse world, okay? And this state of Vaishwanara is when you live with your senses turned outward. So it's everything is a coarse sense. You want to it's a stimulation of your senses. And they refer to 7 agents and 19 agencies, all involved, all sense agencies involved in the processing and stimulation of the external world. Okay. So in the waking state, you are simply consciousness turned outward. There you go. And as I said, there's 7 agents and 19 agencies. It's all broken down. I'll show it to you in another Upanishad. So that's part 1. Part 2, Taijasa, he is simply just consciousness turned inwards. Say, I have to pause now and we shall come back. That was my dear friend V's. I've asked him to join the my solo chat here, so he'll join in a few minutes. But so, as I said, the second state now is Taijasa. This is the Lord of the subtle realms, and this describes you in your dreaming state. So, as I said, whatever desires are get generated, let me pause and give these some context here, I think. Good. Okay, so Viz is making a cheese toasty. There you see him scuttling around his kitchen. And we get back to talking about the Lord of the subtle realm, the Taijasa, the dreaming state. So this is your second mode. So it's mode 1, consciousness turned outwards, creates a whole bunch of vibrations and currents. This has to be reflected in an equal and opposite, and it reflects itself in your dream state. And so all your senses are subtle, but they're still available. So subtle touch, subtle taste, subtle. Within your dreams, you experience all of that. And so all that happens here is, again, something that's driven by attachment and desire that is then fulfilled. So these two are sort of when you are fulfilling desire. All right, the waking state and the dreaming state. Now we move on to mode 3, when those two characters are not around. And when these two characters are not around, you enter a state of deep sleep. Okay. And in deep sleep, it's a state called prajna. Okay. And similarly, they use it for consciousness as well. Okay. And in deep sleep, you don't create a dream, nor do you have any desires. So it's almost like very much like an Inception, the movie Inception, where you like a dream inside a dream. And so both these dreams are driven by desire, by attachment, by yearning for something. Whereas what this Upanishad is, we'll get to use almost in a state of silence is where the action is happening. And silence in a way of silencing of movement, silencing of mind. Uh, yeah, that is the state of where it is. And so in this third state of deep sleep, uh, you almost feel no separation between you and that supreme source. Okay, it's a state of exceptional. That's Talia. uh, it's a state of deep connection, where you feel no separation from you and your creator. But unfortunately, this is, you cannot sleep yourself to enlightenment. So prajna is a very, very powerful state. It's a very, very deeply knowing state. It understands that it is the source state of your consciousness. It is almost that projection layer, but it's not the final state. So it's supremely close to that, but just not quite. And this is where, for me, I draw a distinction between awareness and consciousness. Prajna for me is consciousness. It's awareness in action. So there's still a verb behind it. There's an action behind it. And this is its shortcoming. Whereas the fourth state, when we discuss it now, is a state of complete absence of everything. So it's a sort of not this, not that. And so let's see how Eknath covers it. Eknath says the fourth is a super conscious state called Turiya. Turiya simply means the fourth. It's not consciousness turned inwards. It's not consciousness turned outwards. It is beyond senses. So you cannot use any sense object to detect it. You cannot use your intellect or mind to detect it. Beyond the senses and beyond intellect, in which there is none other than the Lord. So this just means that it's a non-dual state. The universe is filled with the essence of one thing, the Supreme. All of us are little fractals and reflections of that. So, but what happens with us, we incorrectly assume that we are the character, the player, and we associate ourselves with that character. But in this teaching, it essentially says, and if you look at this is actually the main part of the Upanishad, by the way, state 7. And if you look at the original Sanskrit part, you see the word prajnanam used a lot. Okay, which is, it's not consciousness turned inwards. It's not consciousness turned outward. It's not a lump of consciousness. It's not this. And so what they describe is a state where, if you are having an experience, then it's not that. This is a lack of experience in the fourth state. Okay, so now the Upanishad moves across to describing Om. So now it's described the four parts of you: waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and this fourth mysterious part, which is like the black screen behind me. I am immersed within it. I'm an appearance within that. Okay. Now this Turiya, this fourth state, also represents the syllable, the sound, that great Om. And as I said, technically you cannot split up Om into A, U, and M, but for argument's sake, we are going to split it up into A, U, and M. A of Om, that's the lower vibration, the Om. That part of Om is the same association to the waking state, Vaishwanara. Okay. And so this, he says, when you master this, when you master the waking stage, you can attain whatever desire, material desire you want. You gain whatever fruit you want. But in hindsight, you realize that this is playing marbles, as my friend V's there would say. It is, you're playing on the wrong level. If you are playing for those table stakes, you've lost the plot of what the journey entails. So it explains the first state, the A of Om, and how you can attain every material desire when you learn the A of Om. It's the first sound. It ushers everything else. The second state of Om is the U of Om, and this is called Tejasa. It's associated with Tejasa, the king, the lord of the subtle realm, the lord of the mental condition. And when you master this state, the subtle realm, you establish a set of wisdom that propagates within your family line. And how they describe it is that no one ever born in your family will be ignorant of spirit. And so this is a bridge. It's a bridge to get from A to M and then into the silence. So don't spend too long in this state. So this is the realm of lucid dreaming. It's the realm of the subtle realm where you can do a lot. You can do a lot. It's very fun. It's very creative, but it's also it's a bit of a circle jerk. You need to progress and get your mind beyond that point. Then comes the third state, the M of Om. Okay, this is the closed mouth part of Om. When you start open mouth, Om. That M part leads you into a remember, it's the cymatics and it's the vibration within the water that's happening, the water within your body. And so M corresponds to the state of deep consciousness, and it's where you still your mind to experience yourself. And this is a state also when they talk about, it's almost like in one of the Upanishads or one of the other interpretations of this Upanishad, it says, he who's in the state of the M of Om, he weighs the world and rejects it. And what that means is he goes for the great goal, which is the understanding of self, which is the last part of this mantra or this Upanishad. And this says the full, complete sound of Om. It is the supreme state. There are no parts. It is beyond all of that. From your perspective, you see it as four parts. But in reality, there is only one. And it's 100% the time, the supreme. Like my friend V's there, he's eating the supreme, he's sitting on the supreme, he is the supreme, his t-shirt is the supreme. There's nothing else except that one. Biggie. Yes, Biggie is the supreme as well, Davies. So when you realize that and immerse yourself in that understanding that there is. And when you realize that, then you realize. And of course, the Upanishad ends with the Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So you see, it's quite a short Upanishad, nothing too much to it, really quick. It's two pages. What I wanted to show you is that you can spend years and lifetimes going to just each verse. But for me, what I found was more interesting is to look at many of the Upanishad, many versions of it, and you'll see that it says very much the same thing, i.e., all is Om. Your soul, your little Atma is the supreme Om. Then it breaks you up into your four states. Then it shows you Om is the same four states and that you are Om. That's the game plan. So it's not about, you have to understand that juice first, because that's what's covered. So here, all this verily is Brahman. That is the, let's start from the beginning. Om, the imperishable word. This is an explanation, an exposition of what it is. Past, present, future, all is Om. Even beyond that, that's Om. Simple. Second part, you are Om. Yourself is the Supreme Self. I am Atma Brahma. One of the four great sayings, the Mahavakyas. There you go. There's it again. This is the money shot for this Upanishad. This is that statement. Okay. So again, first state, there's your waking state, enjoying all the gross objects like toasted cheese sandwiches, and enjoying the sunshine and enjoying walks on Musenberg Beach. That is the waking state. Then when you go to bed, after all those desires, when you maybe didn't have a steak sandwich and you then yearn for the steak sandwich, then that triggers the dream state. Whatever unfulfilled desires are in you that didn't happen in the waking state, reflect and manifest themselves in the dream state. And again, your this is the 7-limbed and 19 mouths. These are the senses and sense objects that they refer to. There's a whole architecture. I'll show it to you in one of the other Upanishads. But for now, we'll take it as I'll show it to you. So waking in the dream state, same story. It's the same sense objects turned inwards, trying to fulfill desires and lusts and whatever else. Just a whole big circle jerk. Then we move on to the third state, the desirelessness state, the deep sleep, when you are, and this is an important part, they call it an undifferentiated mass of consciousness. Now, this is where this state is different from the fourth state, because in the fourth state, Turiya, it's not an undifferentiated mass of consciousness. So it's not that. The fourth state is not everything. So not even a lump of consciousness. It is not that. So then they go on to explain this third state, which is, if I get it correctly, it's the Isha in the Isha Upanishad. It's the Lord of all, but it's more the Lord of everything apart from the Supreme. So it controls everything apart from the Supreme. This is the only part. So it's the Lord of all except the fourth, the main state. Okay. And so this is the causal state. This creates the entire universe that you appear in. But the thing that creates this is state 4. Okay. So in state 4, Turiya, the fourth quarter, this is where, there you go. There's a lot of nots and neithers. So in the Upanishad itself, it's like they use the word na in front of everything. So it's not this, not that, not this, not that, not that, not that. And so here, it's not turned inwards, not turned outwards. It's neither the two together. It's not an undifferentiated mass of consciousness. Exactly what I said a few seconds ago. It is beyond thought, beyond mind, beyond conception, beyond touch, beyond characteristics. Beyond, beyond, beyond. Nice Daft Punk song if you want to listen to it. Random access memories. But what it is, it's non-dual. This is very, very important. Okay? Non-dual, because there is only it. And you are 100% it. Like V's is 100% it. He doesn't know he's 100% it, but he is. And so this is what this is, as I said, this is the main part of the Upanishad. Verse 7. Verse 7 is where it brings you to your fourth state. Okay. And this matches the 12th verse in this Upanishad, because now This now describes the AU and Om. So now it says Om now cannot be broken down, but if we broke it down, it will be broken down to AU and M. A is the first part of U. U is the second part of U. M is the third part of U. And the silence is the true part of you. And when you understand this, when you use this little shitty small syllable as a vehicle, as a weapon it's a transformational word. You use it to transform you. It transcends you to a next state. And it's not only saying it, it's thinking it, it's becoming it. And that is basically, again, it's the same message, very well this one, by the way, is done by Swami Krishnananda. He's from the Divine Life Society, so Swami Sivananda and co. So there we go, yes. Very, very well. I think these Sivananda and Krishnananda explain it very, very well. Exceptionally good work. Then you also have Swami Rama. Swami Rama, as I said, he has a bit of a tainted past, had some accusations of some essays and so forth. But he's written this little book, 106 pages, called Enlightenment Without God. Now, this just appeals to the atheist in me, where I think both V's and I were atheists. That's how we grew up. We were more scientists in our thinking. So when you find a book written by a Swami called Enlightenment Without God, this is, you understand that there's a deep understanding that we just simply do not have. And here, chapter 27 starts the Mandukya. And again, you'll see it's the same. Mandukya. Okay. So this is the actual Sanskrit part. This is the English Sanskrit saying. And again, let's go again. We know that chapter 1, chapter 2 is all about Om. 3, 4, 5, and 6 is about your three parts: your waking state, your dreaming state, and your deep sleep state. Chapter 7 is the main shot. This is an explanation of your fourth state. And then 8, 9, 10. 8 explains Om. 9, 10, 11 explains your waking, dreaming, deep sleep. And number 12 explains the connection that you are it. Okay. So it works in that same format all the time. And you'll see that it's very similar here with Swami Rama. The entire universe is Om, past, present, future, beyond time, all Om. Dude, your ball's deep in Om. I don't want to go through his explanations. Let's just go through the main part. The next part is all this is Brahman. All this is the Supreme. And this again, Mahavakya, yourself, your Atman is supreme. So imagine I have the Supreme Lord attending my chat now. There's he there sitting at the bottom. He doesn't know it. He has 4 paths. This source has 4 parts. The first part is the one that's sitting on the couch watching me. Okay? He is the waking state part. And he loves the external world. He loves his wife, he loves his kids, his dogs, his home, his homes, his walks on the beach. He loves his cars, all that. You know the guy. Then you have the same dude, but when he sleeps, they're 2 different individuals. They're not the same person, a little doppelganger. If it was your waking state person in your dream state, there's no dreams because the dream is up. The gig is up. This is why you understand that this guy, the dreaming state person, is a slightly different version of your waking state person. It's not the same person. It's a separate guy. And he also has the same, he's the same guy, but a mirror reflection, your doppelganger. So this is why whatever unfulfilled desires didn't happen in the waking state, you can sure as hell fulfill them in the dream state. The subtle realm where when you realize that all is your dream and you can control it all desires can be fulfilled there as well. But remember, in the dream, you, your enemies, your friends, your lovers, the earth, the floor, the doors, the ceiling, the gravity is all you. You created it all. Similarly, in the waking state, you have created it all. Not the small y or u, but maybe the capital letter U is what I'm talking about. And again, now they talk about the next state, as you said, 7 agents, 19 agencies, 7 mouths. They use the same imagery, but it's talking about your desires, your senses that are now turned inwards to appease a desire that you have. So in state 1 and state 2, they're desire states. You yearn for something. That yearning creates the ripples, which creates then the full cause and effect of your existence. Then state 5, deep sleep. This is when you get close. You get close, very, very, very close. It's almost like that image of, is it Michelangelo, Adam and God are almost touching. You're almost there. You're really there, but you're not. It's an experience of that silence, that blissful state, but just not quite. And this is why I repeat, you cannot sleep yourself to enlightenment. Because the moment you wake up, you're back to reality. Back to reality, back. What's that Eminem song? Well, there goes gravity. Then this requires a part 2. This third part of you, the deep sleep state, requires a second explanation because this is the causal state, the realm that creates everything. And this is the Lord of all. As I said, it's the Isha in the Isha Upanishad. We'll cover that at some time. It's the first Upanishad that is one of the principal ones. And this is the womb within which everything comes in and goes. But this womb is within a womb, and that's the fourth state. So we then go to chapter 7. Chapter 7, most important one, the state number 4, which is, again, not. So you see lots of nots and neithers and not both. So it's consciousness is not turned inward, it's not turned outward, it's neither both. And that includes consciousness, senses, anything you are experiencing. If you are experiencing it, not it. Yes? This is how we know you didn't experience it, because you experienced it. So it's a state beyond that. And this is a beautiful statement, because this also comes from the Yoga Sutras. So here they say, in the state, it's a cessation of all phenomena. Yeah, it's all phenomena, all vibration stops. And we'll cover the Sanskrit word. I think, okay, maybe we should cover the Sanskrit. So this is the word. It's called prapancha pashama. Pancha, where is it here? That one. Let me see if it's somewhere else. Yeah, that word is the word that talks about it's beyond. It's beyond all experience. So that word there is very much that cessation of all phenomena. Okay, and it's a state it needs to be realized. As you can see, Ain't no God in the discussion. It's not saying you need to go to church, you need to pray to somebody and eventually get it. What they're saying is, dude, you are it. Peel away the layers of illusion and find where the real Mac Daddy is. And it's, you are it. So, as we said now, chapter 8 will be an explanation of Om. 9 will be the explanation of the A of Om. Chapter 10 will be the U of Om. Chapter 11 will be M of Om. And then 12 will be the silence, connecting it again. So, there we go. The breakdown of Om cannot be broken down, but if it were to be broken down, has these three parts, A, U, and M. They reflect the three states of consciousness, the first three states of consciousness. But what is the most important is the fourth state, the hidden silence. Okay. So A, remember, mastering A gives you command of the material world. Mastering U gives you command of the subtle world. And more importantly, when you understand the subtle world, no family member of yours will ever be ignorant of spirit. Then we get into the M of Om, the fourth state. Let's see how Swami Rama covers this. This is consciousness experienced during the deep state of M. Is the third yet? No, no. Yes, okay. So this is the state where you are able to comprehend the all within you. This the third state. But again, remember, it's still not it. There's a fourth door. And the fourth door is the door you need to walk through. And it says you need to drop everything else. Drop everything else. That one. Where is chapter? Did I miss chapter 12? No. Oh, hold on. I think he's decided. Oh, there we go. Chapter 12. So, so it says Amatras Chaturto. That means part 4. Okay. This Aveviharya Prapancho Pashamaha Shivo. Again, Prapancho beyond is beyond the cessation. It's the cessation of all phenomena. Okay. Dvaita means beyond dual. Okay. So it's saying it's non-dual. It's let's just skip all that. I'm going to go, let's just talk here. So it says this aspect of consciousness that is not known, is the soundless aspect, the silence of Om. Remember, everything starts in silence, becomes a vibration, and goes back into silence. It's like water flowing down a river. The bubbles and the dancing and the appearances, that's simply an illusion in the water. The only reality is water and the water. Okay? And so in this, it says you have to seize all phenomena, seize the projection of the mind and the senses to experience it and to become it. And this is how you immerse yourself into that universal state of Om. So again, as you can see, Upanishad, this is also a good one, but I'm not going to cover it. I want to go to one called the Principal Upanishads. I don't know if it's this one, not that one. There's another one, the 10 Principal Upanishads, this one. So this one is the the, the 10 Principal Upanishads that were translated by W.B. Yeats and Swami Purohit. Now, if you understand who Yeats is a Nobel Prize winner in literature, 1920s or so. And yeah, one second, let me pause. I see I need to pause. Hold on. So where were we? Yeah, we were talking about the 10 principal Upanishads, but the translation from Purohit and Yeats. Now we just need to pause on Yeats because Yeats was a bit of a rock star. Yeats won the Nobel Prize for Literature, I think in 1921, 20, somewhere around there. But what that tells you, he's got a very, very discerning mind. And like a lot of, I'm going to say the big intellectual Western thinkers, when they were exposed to Vedanta, the Upanishads, Vedanta is Vedic philosophy, Vedanta, two words, the shit that's at the end of the Vedas. Vedanta at the end. And this is the Upanishads. This is the deep spiritual shit that's at the end of the Vedas that is uh, so phenomenally deep in its thought, in its conception, that many, many Western thinkers, when when it first started getting translated from Sanskrit into English in the early 1900s, this is when 1800s and 1900s was the first time the West got exposed to this philosophy, and it was a magnificently huge philosophy. But anyways, Yeats then took the effort and time to translate the 10 principal Upanishads. And this tells you something. That means non-duality resonated with him because it's the 10 principles, Upanishads, which Shankaracharya defined. And I think yeah, there we go. There's Mandukya. So again, you'll see it's similar structure. Okay. This part here is the invocation ceremony. Hearing the good, seeing the good, being the good. May we worship with the entire strength of our body. That's all the invocation. Then it comes to welcome to the Lord. That means welcome to Om. And the word Om, again, imperishable. So you see the word imperishable, beyond time, past, present, future, everything is Om. Whatever transcends the three divisions of time, that is also Om. So the first statement is nothing is not Om, including everything that claims it's not Om is also Om. Now, then the second part, as I said, this is the Mahavakya element of the Upanishad, which is this part. The personal self is the impersonal spirit. I am Atma Brahma. Your soul, your Atma is the supreme Brahma, and it has four conditions. So, first one, make this a bit wider. The first one is the waking condition, the material condition, where you have these 7 agents and 19 agencies. This, they've explained it. What they mean is these are the agencies, the body, the earth, air, fire, water, elements, the touching, tasting, seeing, evacuating. So there's a whole definition here at the bottom of all that is included, including all the pranas. There's 5 pranas, and there's 3 parts of mind. So there's manas, buddhi, and chitta. That's the 4 the 4 parts of mind. And then your ahankara is your personality, your Freudian self. Okay. And so going through again, this Upanishad does not, if you look in its teachings, it's very simple. The structure is very, very simple. We've now gone through, this is the 4th or 5th one. It still does the same thing. It tells you about the second state, subtler condition, where you got all your agencies turned inwards. Then it goes into deep sleep mode, where it's a desireless state. So there you go. In this state, man feels no desire, creates no dream. So what does that mean about stages 1 and 2, where you have a desire? That means in these 2 states, you are generating a dream, an illusion. And where the reality is beyond the dream. So you need to wake up from the dream. And how do you wake up from the dream? is you need to put the dream to sleep. So when we say when I say put the dream to sleep, what I mean is you need to take yourself, your waking state, into the deep, deep silence where mind has shut down, where body has shut down, where it's simply awareness in the presence of awareness. Okay. So expansion on this third part of the self, as I said, the Isha Upanishad equivalent of this, the Lord of all. He inhabits all. He creates the entire universe. He dissolves the universe, but still not the Mac Daddy. He is still immersed in something else. Okay. So whilst it's all very supreme and great, it is not the fourth part. And the fourth part, starts here. Okay. And here they say he is not knowable by perception turned inwards or outwards, nor both combined. He is neither that which is known, nor that which is not known, nor is he the sum of all that might be known. He cannot be seen, grasped, or bargained with. He is indefinable, unthinkable, indescribable. The only proof of his existence is union with him. The world disappears in him. He is the peaceful, the good, the one without a second, Advaita, non-dual. This is the fourth condition of self, the most worthy of all, the Turiya state. So that, as I said, is the most important part in the Upanishad. This state, this verse 7. I call it chapter somewhere, but it's verse number 7. So this is the most important. Can I not get a different color? Why can I get only this ugly color? There you go. Can I just change it? And highlight one more time. Okay, that was a fail. This is the most important part of the Upanishad. Now it starts on with Om. That means yourself is Om. And Om is broken up into its three parts, yada, 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 waking, dreaming, deep sleep. But what you are is the four. Okay. And so in all the translations, you're not going to get more than this. This is all that is. Okay. And what does this mean? So let's try to then go into ChatGPT. Just let's start something here. I would like to create a really dumbed out version of the Mandukya Upanishad. So essentially, the 12 verses, I want 12 sentences, 12 very short sentences. Okay? No more than 6 to 8 words per uh, sentence. So, for example, the first one, everything is Om. Okay? Then second one is your Atma, your soul is the supreme. It has 4 conditions. Then we do the 4 conditions. Simple, try to get it as short as possible. Then we go into Om, explanation of Om, A, U, and M. I want you to then include that when we consider A is the cosmic level waking state. U is the cosmic level dream state. M is the cosmic level deep sleep state. So we draw comparisons when we do the waker. It's his waking state, his dream state, and Om is a cosmic level of it. But we then draw the conclusion at the end. So put something together very simple. I want it also structured in terms of, okay, let's first put it together, then we'll restructure it. So let me see if it gets it right. Good. Okay. So what I want is under three, I want first, it says desire state one, waking. For dreaming, desire state two, dreaming. Number five, it's no desire, but consciousness, comma, then deep sleep. Turiya is none of the above. Yeah. Uh, so include that. Let me see how it comes out.
Testing.
How's it?
I'm about to go into the office, so
Cool.
you carry on, and
Oh,
I'll dial back in. As soon as I'm done, I'll dial back in.
perfect. Perfect, moms.
Lovely. I'm enjoying it.
Tops. Good. So, and then they were 0 or 1. Well, I guess in a non-dual state, the all is still talking to itself. Um, so I like this. Desire state 1, desire state 2, no desire, but consciousness. This is so Turiya is not so Turiya number 6 we say is state of no consciousness, no desire, none of the above. Okay. Uh A is the cosmic waking state. So under number 7, I think A is the cosmic waking state. Yes. Yeah, I like it all. I like it all. Except maybe Turiya. I think we need to know silence of Om. It's not no Turiya. It's no the. Uh, no. So in fact, let's kill Turiya. I don't want the word Turiya. Just call it four, Four, or the fourth. The fourth state. Oh shit. What am I doing here? I don't like this. Okay, let's just do this part first and then see what comes out. Still not happy. Good. Good. Excellent. Now I'd like to put it into a table. Okay. And the table has three parts to it. It has the state of consciousness. So desire state 1, desire state 2, so forth. It has then on the second column, it's the elements of the Upanishad that is describing the individual self. So basically, you'd have like everything is Om and your Atman is Brahman. That's a common statement. But I would like to draw a comparison to 3, 4, 5, and 6 and draw that comparison to 7, 8, 9, and this is not how the Upanishad goes. This is an error. No, sorry, you got the structure of the Upanishad incorrect. I don't need your creative inputs. I want you to follow the strict structure of the Upanishad, which means number 7 should be the discussion about Turiya, and number 11 is the discussion of M of Om. Don't give me your creative things. I want it strictly like how the Upanishad is put, but I just want it dumbed out. So this is where ChatGPT sometimes takes creative liberties where if you're not so discerning, you don't see it. So tell me something. What does verse 6 say in the Mandukya Upanishad? Just choose one. Okay, just and first I want to see what it says formally, and then we'll understand what you've interpreted as for 6. Because verse 6 says the Lord of all, the creator and dissolver of beings. It's the causal realm. No, no, no. Uh, no, verse 6, from my understanding, is a second explanation of the deep sleep state, where it says, this is the Lord of all, the creator and dissolver of beings. This is for me the causal realm. And somehow you're not capturing it in this in point 6. What is all this now? Did it do it? So can you give me a suggestion for chapter for verse 6 again? I do not like 8 because in 8 there's an explicit explanation of Om is made up of 3 parts, or the parts of Om, and that you are Om. Hmm? Yes, but how do we address 8 now? I haven't seen how you addressed 8. That's it. Great. So please use this Atman is Om, or this Atman, yeah, something like that. Use that. Yeah, I don't need any more stories. Please now give me the Upanishad in my 12 lines. Did I say past, present, future? I said everything is Om. Okay, maybe not. So, no, I want in the first one just everything is Om, or the all is Om. Still not tying together as neatly as I want. And I guess it's got to do with these so many references and words. They use Brahman and expect somebody to know it. Uh, uh, no, I want to overhaul this a little bit more. Number one, all is Om. Full stop. Om is the supreme. Okay. Then the next one is your Atman is the supreme. It has four states. Then we have state one, waking. Then you talk about desire state, outward consciousness. State two, dreaming, and include everything else. State three, deep sleep. No desire, undifferentiated consciousness. And then state four, uh, Turiya, your true self. This, the, the screen upon which the other three states appear. Then we talk about, yes, this your Atman is Om. This Atman is Om. Om has three syllables, A-U-M. Then we go into 9, which is cosmic state 1, the cosmic waking state. Then cosmic dreaming state, cosmic deep sleep state, the A, U, and M. And then we describe the fourth. I don't know if it's understanding what I want, but let's just see how far it gets. No, no, you messed it up. You messed it up completely. You don't know what you're doing. I want waking state 1, waking, desire state, outward conscious are all part of that one statement. This thing is really bad sometimes. As I said, if you're not, yeah, that's better. That's what I want. Good. So I want same states for Om as well. State 1, state 2, state 3, but it's cosmic. Okay, so this I could work with. I like this. Let's take it across. Let's put it somewhere. Text. You're not going to give me more. Um, hmm. Good. Let's generate. I think some of the wording I don't really like, but it's okay for now. Yeah. Pretty good. Not bad. Not bad. Let's start. Mandukya. All is Om. Om is supreme. I want it darker. It has to be a void. Deep sleep. So I'm just wrapping up this Mandukya. I'm actually happy with my version of it. Mandukya. Let's have a look. So let's just go through the process, summarize what was the objective of the session. So we looked at multiple interpretations of Mandukya, and what we realized, or at least what I've realized, is that there's a simplicity in understanding it simplistically, and across multiple interpretations, there's a core saying which you need to first understand before going into deeper details of whatever. And so we went through, I think, 5 or so different interpretations of Mandukya. And what we show is that it's actually the same structure. There's no different in the way, in really the essential message. What is the challenge is the realization. It's the penny dropping moment when it becomes an aha. Okay. And so let's talk it quickly and then we can end this chat. So Mandukya, the greatest of all, the Upanishads, the teachings of Om. And so it starts with all is Om, all that's ever been, ever will be, everything from the tiniest plank level to the greatest universal size, all is Om, all is the supreme. Beyond time, measure, yada, yada, yada. This, you have a soul, okay? Each of us have a soul called an Atma, and that soul is no different from this supreme Om. And it has 4 conditions, 4 states. Mode 1, state 1 is waking. And this is where you are consciousness turned outwards. It's a desire state. So you have all these sense objects and senses turned outwards, and it's feed me with all these desires. Then you have state 2, also a desire mode. It's unfulfilled desires in the waking state need to be realized in the dreaming state. And there, consciousness turns inwards. And again, it's a shaking off. It's a motion. It's a motion. It's a verb. So in state 1, motion. State 2, motion and verb. State 3 is when things start to slow down a bit. It's a lower vibration, but a vibration nonetheless. There's consciousness in the equation, but it's a state of a bit more rest, where the waters are calmer, where there is no desire, but there's a feeling of connection to the Supreme. Then you have state 4. This is true self, true. It is also no. it is not actually a fourth state, but it's actually the only state. Everything else is simply an appearance within it. So, uh, whereas in the first three, it's almost they are equal in status. The fourth one is saying, no, no, no. This is like in this image, it's the black screen upon which the writing is appearing. These all are different states of you. They come and they go. The only thing that's real is the screen. Okay, the black part of this presentation, for example. And what's this? Your, say your. So your soul, your Atman is Om. This is the main conclusion of the Mandukya Upanishad. Is that Om is the supreme, Om is the ultimate, you are Om, Om is everything. It's not that you are great, by the way. It's simply that Om is great. Om is the thing that creates it all. So by default, you become great simply because you are also Om. But check yourself before you wreck yourself. So now it goes into unpacking Om. Om has three syllables, A, U, and M, correct? First one, the A of Om is equivalent to your waking state. It is the cosmic waking state. U is the equivalent to your dreaming state. It's the cosmic dream world. M is the deep sleep cosmic level. And so they all match your three states until we get to the last states, which I think I need to do some work on this one, but leave it as it's the silence. It's the merging of one's activities. It's when the verb becomes the noun. You simply need to become the silence. And in this picture, I think I still want to get it black, faded, clear. There we go. That's it. And the last part is the silence. So good. I like this. Good start. Hope you like the Mandukya Upanishad. Not too much mystery. It's actually it's dead simple. There's no God in the discussion. There's no, you need to go and do some prayer beads or whatever. No. It's very, very scientific, very, very clear in its statements. Very dry, as I said. There's no, it's simply just explaining fact by fact by fact by fact by fact. And that must lead you to a conclusion. So, hope you enjoyed Mandukya. I'm going to stop now.